Hi friends, I'm Anouk, Nook for short, and welcome to another Nook's Hooks vlog. So I'm the owner of Nook's Hooks, a small crochet business. I mainly focus on selling patterns, but twice a year I do a con. Last weekend we had that con, and if you haven't watched that video, you should go ahead and watch it before this one because we really had a blast, me and Nina, the person who helped me, and it turned out to be a very, very fun vlog. Now, that video turned out to be really, really long because Nina and I are very good at yapping a lot. So I promised you guys that the next video would be a breakdown of everything that's sold, my main takeaways, my bestsellers, and also a little overview of what I plan to change for the next edition of the con, which is all the way in November, but I already start prepping for it because crochet takes a long time. So I want to have a plan immediately so I know what to do. All right, now let's get into the numbers. I think I'm gonna try and show an image of certain things that I've sold here. I'm not gonna do it of everything because one, I don't have an image of everything I sold, and two, that's a lot of work to edit them all into the video. So sorry, but I'm gonna try to do a couple. So let's start by just going over everything I had in stock and immediately everything that sold from that. The price I will go over later because my prices vary based on how much you buy. So all my modular patterns, which are like the ones you see up here and on my grid wall, those are 30 for one and 25 if you buy more than one. And then all the rest, so my sleeping dragons, my sleeping foxes, my Nessies, those were all 20. So the full price I'll give you at the end because multiple times people bought two modular patterns, so they got a discount of €5 less per plushie. Also, I feel like, let me see, I have 59 items in this list. And I feel like going over all of them and just saying how much I had and how much I sold is kind of boring. But then again, I do hear that some people really enjoy those kinds of vlogs. So I'm just going to do a quick run through and then I'm going to look into more specific numbers, which is going to be fun as well, like themed plushies and stuff. I feel like this thing is making a clicky clacky sound. So we're changing to a fork instead. Oh, and before we get into things, I need to, like every video, give a little explanation about my patterns. So my patterns, the modular ones, are modular, meaning you can mix and match different patterns. It's a kind of complex system if you've never used my patterns before. So if you want to use them, I recommend reading this explanation page that I've linked in my bio about how my patterns work. That will make everything super clear for you. Also, if you're looking for the strawberry mod for my hoodies, it's not a real mod because it's just adding a little stem on top of the hat. But the explanation on how to do the little stem, I did write out on my explanation page as well. So you can also find it there. Okay, so starting off with the bears. I had 4 bears and bee hoodies, which are these guys that you see up here, and I sold 1. I had 2 burger bears and I sold 1. I had 2 Hello Kitty themed bears and I sold none. I had 2 bears in a duck hoodie and I sold 1. I had 7 bears in a frog hoodie and I sold 2. I had 7 Harry Potter themed bears and I sold 2. I had 1 Mario themed bear, sold none. 1 panda, sold none. I had 5 plain heart bears, which are bears in like a hoodie with little hearts on it, and I sold 1. I had 2 bears in a random plain hoodie, and I sold 1. I had 2 blueberry bears where the body is like a blueberry and they have a little stem on the head, and I sold 1. I had 1 plain strawberry bear, which is not the hoodie variant. It's the one where the frills around the neck are like the stem of the strawberry, and I sold 1. I had 1 Bulbasaur bear and I sold 1. 4 Charmander bears and I sold none. 2 Pikachu bears, sold 1. 2 Squirtle bears, sold 1. 3 Powerpuff Girls themed bears and I didn't sell any. 1 Pride themed bear and I didn't sell that one. 6 princess bears, which are just bears in a dress, and I sold 1. 13 scrappy bears, and I sold 3. 8 bears in strawberry hoodies, and I sold 4. one sunflower bear, which I didn't sell, 4 bears in a unicorn hoodie, and I sold one. Then we're moving on to the birds. I had one bird themed as a bee, which I didn't sell. I had one bird in a hoodie, which was, I believe, a duck in a goose hoodie, so pretty cute, and I sold that one. I had 6 plain birds, and I sold 2, and both of which were my dark fluffy mallard. Then I also had modular bunnies. I brought 2 blueberry ones, 2 sold, and I brought 2 plain strawberry ones, 2 sold. All 4 of these sold on the first day, so definitely need to be bringing more of those. Then I had 4 cat-themed plushies. So they're a cat, but they're wearing different things. And I sold none of those. Then I had 3 blueberry cows, one of which I made extra during the con. Or no, 2 of which I made extra during the con, because the first one sold immediately. And I sold 2, so I have 1 left. I had 4 cows in a frog hoodie, and I sold 2. I had 5 plain cows, and I sold 3. I had 1 princess cow, and I sold 1. I had 10 cows in strawberry hoodies, and I sold 9. I had 8 before the con started, and then I made 2 more while at the con, and one of those sold. So I only have 1 strawberry cow left. Then we're moving on to my dragons. I characterized these via character and plain, because I had a Spyro, I had 2 Hakus, I had 1 Dragonite, and then I don't even remember how I characterized these, because some were 4th wing themed, but yeah, a 4th wing themed dragon is also just a color dragon. So in total, I had 21 dragons, and I sold 11. So I have 10 left. Here, my rainbow ones actually did really well. I only had the orange one left by the end, and then I sold 2 Hakus. Actually, I only sold 1 Haku during the con, but then I did get a message from someone who bought something else right after that they would also like another Haku. So I did sell the second Haku because of facts, just not specifically at facts. So yeah, dragons did very well, especially for like bringing them for the first time. I'm pleased they did, because I did go on like a sleeping dragon kick and produced a lot of those. 21 is quite a few to have made. I think their pattern only released a week before the con, so yeah, I was speedy with those dragons. I had 1 elephant in a frog hoodie, didn't sell. I had 1 plain elephant, that one sold. 1 elephant in a plain hoodie, which I still have, didn't sell. 1 elephant with a strawberry body, not a strawberry hoodie, so again with a frill around the neck. That one didn't sell. And then I had 2 strawberry elephants, and those both sold. And I'm talking about a hoodie elephant. They both sold, I believe, both on the first day, so again, very popular, the strawberry themed things. Then I had 2 frogs with a strawberry body, didn't sell. I had 0 giraffes, but I made one during the con, and that one sold because someone specifically asked for a giraffe. I had 8 plain Nessies, none of them sold. I had 2 turtle bee Nessies. I hope to put a picture here, because that might be confusing if I just call it a turtle bee Nessie. Didn't sell those. I had 1 turtle blueberry Nessie, didn't sell. Then I had 2 plain turtle Nessies, which are like in the classic brown and green colors, and those both sold. I had 1 rainbow Nessie, that one sold. I had 2 turtle strawberry Nessies. No, I had 3 of those, and 2 of them sold. I had 3 sleeping foxes in the plain colors, which is the orange body and the black accents, and 2 of them sold. I had 7 sleeping foxes in rainbow colors, which are the ones you see down there, and 3 of them sold. I had 5 spring bunnies, and 1 of them sold. Now here, I do have to say, we only hung them up around the end of the second day when we started to have space for them. And I must say they did grab attention a lot, and I priced them the same as my modular ones, even though they're a little bit smaller. So I think That's also a reason that people didn't really want to buy them, because they are smaller than the same priced other plushies. So yeah, I'm glad I did sell one. I think next time I might be changing my pricing a bit. Now, I did want to talk about my main categories because I make a lot of fruit themed animals and I also make some frog themed animals. I wanted to go over those because in total I sold 4 blueberry themed plushies while I only had 5, I believe. So clearly, blueberries are definitely the way to go. Then I sold 2 plain strawberry Nessies. I sold 15 plushies in strawberry hoodies. And I sold 3 items in a plain strawberry variation. So that's 2 bunnies and 1 bear. All I have left of those are the 2 frogs and the elephant, while the frogs just aren't really popular. Then I only sold 4 items in a frog hoodie. So clearly, we have a winner. The strawberry hoodies or anything strawberry themed is really, really the way to go. I sold 15 items in a strawberry hoodie, 9 of which were cows. So I think I know what I have to prep for the next edition. So now, the grand total of amount of money I made, this is excluding all the costs, is 1,880 euros in a weekend, which I think is pretty great. Now, the booth did cost me about 300 euros, so subtract that and I'm left with 1,580, which is pretty good. I'm very pleased with that. As I've said before, these cons are not my main source of income. My patterns are. I mostly do these cons for fun and to like kind of get rid of plushies because I make a lot of plushies. One, to promote my patterns, but also just because I love making them and it's my hobby. And then I get stuck with a bunch of plushies at home. So that's why I do the con twice a year, although it's turned into more of a thing I prep for than just a thing to get rid of plushies. Now, there are a couple things that I wrote down that I might want to change for next time. So let's go over those. I'm just going to read them in the order I put them down, which is just the order in which I thought of them right after the event. Number 1, bring a trolley. We had to do multiple trips from the car to our booth area, which wasn't very close, and my arms nearly fell off from all the heavy stuff I had to carry. So next time I am buying a cart and I am bringing that cart to help me carry all of our stuff. Luckily, we had a table from there, so we didn't have to bring a table and chairs, but all the other stuff was carried in by hand, and it was not close by. So trolley is definitely a big one. Next up, I do want to add some more smaller items to my booth. One of those is these fish. So here, this is my chubby fish pattern, which I love a lot. I also really love making these. They're really easy. No sew, of course. But excuse the dog hairs on them. And some people wonder why I lint roll all my plushies before I go to the con. But yeah, I had the idea of making them emotional support fish and getting these tiny little plastic fish bowls that each fish gets to be in their own little fish bowl, and you just take home a fish in a fish bowl, and it's your emotional support fish that you can put on your desk and you can have it with you at all times. So I thought that was a pretty cute idea, and I definitely want to do that next time. Because for now, the cheapest thing at my booth was 20 euros. Number 3. I think I want to up my prices. My prices are quite on the low side. 30 euros, and if you buy more than 2, 25 for my modular patterns. They take me about an hour and a half, I would say, is quite on the low side, especially with the insane amount of taxes we have to pay in Belgium, and I also have to pay VAT. So 21% immediately goes away from the money I get from it, and then 50% goes to taxes. I'm going to be very honest with you, there's not a lot left after these cons, especially if you also take into consideration your yarn costs and everything. So yes, I think I do have to up my prices, and that's also one of the reasons I wanted to include these smaller things like the fish, so that I still had things that anyone could afford. So what I am thinking is my modular patterns, they're going to go to 35 per plush or 30 if you buy more than one. My sleeping dragons and my sleeping foxes and my Nessies, those are going to go to 25. Then my fish, I believe I was going to price them around 10-ish. Let me check. Yes, so my fish I'm gonna price at 10 per because they come in the little bowl and everything, and I'm gonna put a little sticker of emotional support fish on it. Then I'm also gonna bring my stegos, which are at the back here. Let me grab one. So here are my stegos. I'm actually planning on making a pattern of those that's a bit smaller because this is one of the first patterns I ever released like 3 years ago. It's free on Instagram and I think also on my website. So I am planning on creating a smaller version of it, also releasing it for free, just to have it even more market preppable. But that being said, I would sell these for 15 euros a piece. Then I would also have a discount bin. This is a suggestion I got on one of my prepping videos 2 weeks ago. The thing is, over the past year and a half, I've really like perfected, in my opinion, what I want my plushies to look like, to feel like. I use a different hook size than I used to use. I use different yarn breads than I used to use. I stuff differently than I used to. I weave in the ends even more securely now. So there are just a couple plushies that, one, I don't think are as cute as my others, and two, are just not the quality that I can make them now. So I do want to have a discount bin. I've already like sorted out which ones are going in there. They're quite a lot actually. And those are going to be sold at I think 25 a piece or maybe even 20. Something I have to think about. I might also make some other minis, like I also have a mini no-sew elephant pattern and a mini no-sew cow pattern, but that'll depend on if I want to, because I usually kind of don't like making minis. I love making these sizes of plushies. Then the next one is actually an idea I got from Fox Star Creations. She came to visit me at Fax. She was also a vendor and she was super sweet and she follows me over on YouTube. So, hi, if you're watching this. She gave me the idea of selling pattern books. So, I'm kind of thinking of bundling not all, but bundling my modular patterns, but just the hoodie part. So, all of the bases with the hoodie and also the strawberry variation, the frog variation, bundling all of those into one little book, and then also selling the pattern for my foxes and for my dragons. And the book would just be something printed. I'm not going to go through a publisher or anything. But I thought that would be a cute idea. It's an idea. It's not something I'm 100% gonna do because it will take a lot of my time to do that. But of course, there are a lot of crocheters at Facts, so it would be nice to also be able to give something to the ones that can already crochet themselves. Next, I want to change my display a bit. I'm keeping my grid walls, which is the thingy you see here. I'll insert a picture of what my booth looked like now, and I really like it. It's just that what's on the table is not as clearly visible as the grids, partially because it's not going in the height as much. And also, if I'm adding stuff like my minis and my pattern books, I want to have different sections on my booth. So I'm thinking of adding these grid cubes. I see them all over artist alleys, and I think they would be a great addition. So I made a little drawing. It might not be that clear. So the big rectangles at the sides are my grids. They're going to stay. The rectangle at the top and the one at the bottom are both my signs. Those are going to stay as well. But then you have like the squares in the middle and then the little steps at the bottom there. Those are going to be grid cubes is what I want. This is kind of an idea I have. I'm not 100% sure about this yet. Got to try it out. But I want to get some grid cubes. I want to try it out. And I want the bottom, so these, to be like steps. So to put like my emotional support fish on them and things like that. Then I'm also thinking of doing some more character themed plushies, even though my character themed plushies don't seem to do very well. I do want to make some more Studio Ghibli stuff. So, for example, a bear in a Totoro, or however you pronounce that, hoodie would be so adorable. So, I think I want to make that. And I also think I want to like have a section of my booth be for character animals so that people who are specifically looking for a character or are really big fan of a certain kind of show can look there to see if they find anything. Another thing is an Appa bear. So Appa from Avatar, I really want to make a hoodie, a bear in an Appa hoodie. I think that would be so freaking cute. Okay, two more things on my list. One is roll for sticker, but I want to get like one of those spinning wheels because I feel like um, if you just have to roll a dice, you don't see it from afar that it's like a game type thing. But if you see like a spinny wheel from afar, you know that it's like a mystery thing and you like get a chance to get something. I want to do that for my stickers. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so much more inclined to buy a sticker just so I can like roll for it or spin a wheel for it. I think that's so much fun. So I definitely want to do that. It's gonna be like €2 for a spin or something like that. And yeah, I want to get a really nice pink spinning wheel to do that. And then lastly, I also want to add sleeping dogs and sleeping cats to the collection. Now that is a little spoiler alert because I am already thinking about my next sleeping pattern, which are going to be dogs and cats. Now, I'm not going to release them anytime soon. One, my wrist is really bad right now. I did a bit too much crocheting before, during, and after my con, so I'm definitely not allowed to crochet right now, but I am thinking about it. The way I'm gonna do it is already in my head, I think. We'll see if it works out. But yes, I do want to release a sleeping dog and a sleeping cat. And I'm a little bit on the fence because I think the general body shape of both would be the same. So, okay, wait. Let's take a step back. I want the dog pattern and the cat pattern to both have a couple different variations. But in the end, the body shape of both, nearly all variations of one of them is going to be in the other. The main difference between the dog and the cat pattern will be the face and the ears. So I feel kind of iffy about selling them as separate patterns because so much of it is the same. So if people want to get both, they're like paying twice for something that is largely the same. I don't want to do it like my modular patterns. I mean, I could also sell them as separate ones and also one pack where you get both. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. Figured it out already. But yeah, step one is really working on the pattern because it's in my head right now. I have not made anything. Don't keep me to my word because it might be that the idea that's currently in my head is not working out and then there might not be a pattern coming. But yeah, I do hope to bring some cats and some dogs because I often get about my sleeping foxes like, oh, this looks just like my dog, how my dog sleeps and stuff like that. So do think that would be really, really cute. This is turning into a very chatty vlog. But one more thing we should go over is everything I plan to make for the next con. I want to make one bear in a duck hoodie, one bear in a frog hoodie, and one more Harry Potter bear, which is the Gryffindor, because I'm all out of Gryffindor bears. I want to make two plain blueberry bears, two plain strawberry bears, one Bulbasaur bear, because I don't have any left of those, two new Scrappy Bears, because a lot of my old ones are going into the discount bin, 8 of them to be exact, just because just the way I stuffed them and the way I weaved in the ends are not up to par with how I do them now. So I want to make 2 new ones and all the rest, well, 2 others that I've made recently are going to stay at the normal price, but all the others are going in the discount bin. I want to make 4 more bears in strawberry hoodies, 2 birds in bird hoodies. So a goose in a duck hoodie and a duck in a goose hoodie. 3 plain birds. So I want to make 3 more fluffy mallards because those always seem to sell. I want to make 4 blueberry bunnies and 4 plain strawberry bunnies. 3 blueberry cows, 3 cows in frog hoodies, 3 plain cows, 14 strawberry hoodie cows, which would be a total of 15. 4 character dragons, and here I want to make 2 Spyros and 2 Hakus. 6 more plain dragons, so those are the rainbow ones. I already made 3 extra, so I want to make 6 more above those 3 extra that I made. 1 plain elephant, 4 elephants in a strawberry hoodie, 5 more fish, 3 more plain foxes, so the orange toned foxes, and 2 more rainbow foxes, which is just to complete the rainbow of foxes, 3 more giraffes, 1 blueberry turtle Nessie, 3 plain turtle Nessies, 2 rainbow turtle Nessies, and 2 strawberry turtle Nessies. I want to make 6 more stegos, and then some new additions. I want to make 2 Totoro bears, I want to make 2 Appa bears, and I want to make 2 Stitch bears. I think that is everything I wanted to talk about today. I know this has been a much more like chatty vlog than I'm used to. It's usually not just me talking the whole time and just a camera in my face not moving whatsoever. So I hope you still enjoyed this kind of video. It's very different than I'm used to filming, so it feels kind of weird, but yeah. I think people usually like seeing everything that's sold at these things and what our bestsellers were and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely like and subscribe if you do. Subscribing really is the best way you can help me. I'm very guilty of watching a bunch of YouTubers and not subscribing to them because they pop up on my feed anyway. But to us, the creators, it really is such a good thing to subscribe to us. It really helps our channel. And since starting my own YouTube channel, I have, of course, stopped doing that and immediately subscribe if I don't forget. So this is your reminder to not forget. Also, leave a comment down below if there's anything like unexpected about these numbers, like, for example, the amount of strawberry cows. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!